guys, this is Kimberly. Welcome back to Fablestan, and I'm really happy that you're here because I'm really excited about today's video. And today's video is in which I will show you my top 5 oracle decks that I use for mental health, either to take care of my mental health, either to interrupt my anxiety spiraling, to soothe my nerves and calm my nervous system, to feel regulated every time I get activated, as in like triggered, or I enter into like a fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. You know, my nervous system when it's like in like a clusterfuck. These are the oracle decks that I go to. One of these decks I use literally every single day, and I'm really excited to share these titles that I picked with you, and I hope you resonate with them, and I also hope you resonate with some of the reasons that I will be sharing with you as to like why I use them in the way that I do, etc. Anyways, here we go. So this is the first deck that I wanted to share with you, and it is something that I have created for my mental health, and I regularly use it for my mental health, especially when I'm spiraling out of control. It is the Align Heart Affirmations Oracle, and in the next print, I'm definitely going to change how the titles are placed, because everyone is literally reading Heart Align, and I don't blame them because it's literally how it just, I guess it looks like that it's supposed to be read that way, but it's actually Align ... heart. This is an oracle deck with affirmations that I've written after I've gone through the incredibly difficult journey of the dark night of the soul, and during that time where I was sort of reclaiming the fragmented parts of myself, holding space to heal my wounds, feeling all the feelings that I wasn't feeling before because I was severely dissociated. Everything that I've written here is to get me through those difficult moments. Instead of writing affirmations that sound too positive, that felt like emotional gaslighting, and it felt like spiritual bypassing, I wrote, which I later found out, these are called grounding statements. So I wrote these affirmations that are more reflective of what I was feeling, and it was sort of specifically designed and written to address my emotional needs, the need to feel seen, the need to address how terrible I'm feeling about myself, all the self-worth issues, my lack of confidence, my insecurities, instead of telling myself that, oh, you're confident and you're supposed to feel that way. I wrote these affirmations to reflect all the difficult emotions I was feeling, because that's what they are. Feeling like I was unworthy of love, and feeling like I was useless, feeling like I was a piece of shit, or feeling like nobody was there for me, nobody was helping me. It's important to recognize those feelings as feelings and just feel into the full extent of them. And this deck really allows me to do that, and this is also why I created, to kind of hold space for other people to feel their feelings, because it's so important to just feel that instead of telling ourselves that we need to feel confident or we need to feel anything else other than the pain we're going through. So this is the deck that I reach for the most, especially when I'm struggling with relationships, having anxiety about my relationships, and also just feeling like a complete piece, like just when I'm feeling like I'm just like garbage, when my self-worth is just in the toilets. This is like the deck that I grabbed because I wrote this, I created this deck especially for that. And this deck really is a safe space to just feel everything, feel your emotions, and tend to your emotional needs. So this deck is gentle but very powerful, and if you're looking for something to do, some gentle but powerful shadow work to really get in touch with your inner child, to get in touch with your emotional self, and still feel safe in doing so, I feel like this deck will be a great addition to your collection. And not just because I made it, but literally because I made this deck for this purpose. So if you're interested, please go check it out. So this is the first deck for one of my mental health decks, the most important one. So speaking of affirmations, I would like to show you The Universe Has Your Back. So this was my go-to deck when it comes to affirmations for my mental health before I created this for myself. And this is an oracle deck created by Gabriel Bernstein, and the ideas from this oracle deck is a collection of mantras, affirmations, and just kind of like key ideas with core themes that are kind of just like corresponding with the book The Universe Has Your Back. And this deck is really amazing because, kind of like my own deck, Align Heart, this deck also really helps me regulate my nervous system. Like, it, in a way that puts me in the that puts me in the frequency that puts me in the frequency of surrender, not in a way that's passive and just giving up, but in a way that helps me to stop obsessing over the things that I cannot control, because this deck really has a strong theme of faith and having faith in the universe, having faith that the universe has your back no matter what, and that the universe is constantly conspiring to help you. So it feels very angelic, it feels very supportive, and this was the deck that I went to all the time when I was spiraling. Now I just use my own deck because like I said, I created that deck to stop myself from spiraling. But this was the deck that I was using more. I still use it from time to time. I have all the decks from Gabriel Bernstein. I just love all the affirmations. This is just great for anxiety and stress because, you know, like, this is just such, like, the words are just so clear and so it really just interrupts the negative spiraling that's happening in your brain. You know, if you're someone who's very prone to that, if you're kind of obsessing over an outcome, if you're worrying about like what the future holds, or if you're kind of stressing out about like other people's perception of you or what they're thinking about you, what they're going to say to you, if you're kind of projecting conflict onto someone or onto a situation, and it's just such a gentle interruption of all that stressful catastrophizing, you know, because it really reminds you to have faith in the universe, that there are unseen forces out there trying to help you succeed in life and feel safe in life, and also have faith in yourself when it comes to your own endeavors, because you're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. So this is my second pick for, you know, decks that really help and support one's mental health. I recommend other decks by Gabriel Bernstein as well. She made the Super Attractor and also this other one that I have, and it has, I forgot what it was called, but that one is kind of like as messages for light workers and also expressing yourself as a leader and as a creative person. This one is more like feeling the encouragement from the universe. Super Attractor is about manifesting. So I recommend all of those. They just feel great. They feel really smoothing to hold and to read. And I recommend this one if you're like obsessing over an outcome, if you're like a perfectionist and a control freak. Like me, you know, when I'm spiraling, I tend to become very perfectionist and controlling, and this deck is a great deck for that. So I recommend this one. Speaking of angels and the universe having our backs, I'm going to put this deck, Archangel Fire Oracle by Alexandra Winman, as my third deck for mental health. Well, first of all, who doesn't love angels? Maybe you don't, that's fine, but I love angels. I don't believe in angels in a religious sense because I'm kind of allergic to mainstream religion, and let's just leave it at that. But just the idea of angels and what they represent, how they exist, and just the relationship that we have as human beings and societies to angels, and just the idea that they are our protectors, they're always thinking of us, and also just the idea that they represent, you know, like unconditional love and acceptance and nurture, just feels very heartwarming to me. And I reach for this deck, and I reach for other angel decks that are in my collection when I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because I just feel like angels will forgive me for that. They will guide me through my troubles, and it wouldn't judge me for panicking or feeling like a failure, because I just feel that angels just feel so encouraging and supportive, and compared to like the previous deck, The Universe Has Your Back, that one is more like taking you back into your calm, and it's just a very peaceful deck, you know, taking you back to your inner peace, your inner zen. This deck, I feel like, is more action oriented, just because every single card in this deck has an archangel depicted, and I really love the depictions of these archangels. First of all, like, they're very diverse in culture and also in mythological representations, different types of characters, gender, and I just really love the color palette as well. Like, it's more earthy than I usually prefer, because I do love pastels and like rosy color decks, but this deck is gorgeous. And I love reaching for angels because, you know, angels make me feel protected and makes me feel like I just have the blessings to do whatever it is that I need to do, even though I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I just feel very reassured. And also just drawing a card after asking a question, or after just kind of throwing my concerns to the angels and be like, please, someone step in and help me. And you get like very specific angel that you can work with and just pull wisdom from, and just feel like this angel is with you on this particular aspect of your journey, on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. It just feels so reassuring, and I just love pulling angel cards when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, when I need like just this presence of loving kindness to kick me in the butt and just be like, it's fine to feel this way. It's okay that you're struggling, but let's get some work done, and this is how I'm gonna help you. And it's just such a blessing to receive an angel in your reading. And also, I will forever have a crush on, like a cosmic crush on Archangel Michael. Like I mean, like, who doesn't? You know, I don't know. I can't help it. Like, Archangel Michael is just amazing. Amazing. So yeah, that is my third pick for mental health. My fourth one is the Whispers of Love. Since the majority of my stress and anxiety comes from my relationships, because I'm actively trying to heal through trauma, I have a lot of anxieties about being mistreated or being used, and I'm in a healthy, loving relationship now, but that doesn't stop my concerns and my anxieties from surfacing. Sometimes I have to manage them, and sometimes I get into conflict with my partner. I just have the bad tendency to project my negative experiences onto them, or I sort of project the problems that I used to have with the toxic relationships that I was in the past. I will project it onto him, and I think that's unfair. But sometimes it's really hard to snap myself out of that victim mentality, and I really don't want to stay in victim mentality. I think it's important to address the feelings that come up when I feel like a victim, because that's coming from an unhealed part of me that was helpless from before. It's like my wounded inner child. So I just feel like it's important to acknowledge that, but at the same time, I don't want to be villainizing the people in my life all the time, every time I get triggered. And I understand that I'm trying to give myself compassion as much as I can, but I also just don't want to stay in that place, because it's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for my partner or my friends or whoever that I'm in conflict with. It's not healthy for my relationships. And I really want to cultivate strong, healthy relationships where both parties are openly communicative and kind to each other. So this deck really aligns me with my values of kindness and open communication and taking responsibility, because sometimes I would get so caught up with a problem, and I would just, I would just feel so triggered, and I would just start victimizing myself, and I would just kind of like get stuck in a loop. Like when you start to feel helpless, I start spiraling, and I'm just like, why is he like this? And I villainize, and I'm like self-victimizing, and I just get caught in this like nightmare and in this terrible story of like how everything is unfair, and like I'm alone, and everyone neglects me, and nobody cares, and blah blah blah. And this deck is sometimes it's so like it's so gentle and poetic, and look at the art, like it's just incredibly beautiful. Like it has keywords like true love, forgiveness. You would think it's like a very fluffy deck and like very just positively affirming, like you wouldn't use it for shadow work or whatever, but this deck actually kicked me in the butt sometimes. Like it's actually the tough love that I've always needed to snap myself out of that victim mentality. Because I remember one time I was spiraling and I was pulling from this deck, and I was like, just tell me that he's a bad person, just validate my perspective. And I got the card that says something along the lines of like, be kind, like like what can you do to be kind to your partner? And I was just like, I don't want to be kind in this situation. I want to just feel validated as a victim, right? But that really helped me shift my energy and my perspective, because I just feel like, okay, all the emotions I feel are valid. I validate that within myself, but at the same time, I'm in a relationship and I strive to be a healthy partner as well. I can't just expect the people around me to bend to this toxic narrative that I have about myself. Like, I don't want them to do that either. I don't want to do that. I don't want to live like that. And being told to be kind to them is like, okay, I have my perspectives, but you don't get to take it out on them all the time, and you don't get to be a moody ass bitch all the time. Because while you're justified and validated in just feeling those feelings, because that's the state of your existence, you also need to consider like, okay, but I'm also responsible for conducting myself in this relationship, and I'm also responsible for communicating my needs and being the best version of myself that I can be. And of course, accepting myself when I'm not perfect and not trying to be good all the time, all of that. But it's also like, okay, you also have to, I mean, you don't have to, but it's like I want to consider my partner as well and try to work towards like a peaceful solution where both of us feel seen, blah, blah, blah. So in conclusion, if you're having like mental health crisis or just struggling with your mental health, especially when it comes to your relationships and relationship anxieties, I think if you're looking for a gentle deck, this is good. But if you're also looking for some gentle, tough love where you will be told the truth about your behavior, especially when you slip into victim mode, I find this deck is freaking amazing because I never expected that. I honestly, when I first got this deck, I just wanted this to be a comfort deck. I just wanted to be told that, oh, love is good, you found true love, everything is good, everything is safe. But this deck surprisingly has called me out a bunch of times, and it's very interesting how like the depth this deck actually ended up like to have in my readings and in my life, because I legit just thought it was just going to be like this feel-good comfort deck, but it turned out to be way more than that. So I recommend this deck for relationship anxieties. And the last, actually, I was gonna say like this is like the last deck, but I actually have an honorable mention at the end. And the only reason why it's an honorable mention is I guess I will tell you later. But let's get on with the fifth deck first, and it's the Rose Oracle. And I don't have like a concrete functional reason for selecting this deck as one of my mental health decks, other than the reason of it just being like the aesthetic is really soothing to look at. All the pastels, all the pink, all the rose gold, and just like images of roses and soft flowers and gardens and stuff. I'm just like, and it's just everything, like the whole color palette is just very soft and feminine, celestial looking. I think just looking at something that pleases me, something that I feel like resonate with who I am as a person, just something I enjoy looking at with art that I really enjoy. I think that in and of itself can be soothing too. Like you don't need to pick a deck where it helps you tackle this particular concern. Like it doesn't have to be, like you don't need a strong, practical, functional reason, to really deem a deck to be useful for whatever purpose that you're considering. I think something's just the fact that it looks really good and it feels good to look at, it feels calming to look at, and that's the power of art, right? Sometimes energy is also carried through art, and by looking at the art and engaging with the art, you are also receiving those light codes and that frequency, and just colors can be soothing. Like colors are therapeutic. So this deck is totally that for me. Like these soft, dreamy pastels just really soothe my nerves. I just like, I don't even have to talk. I don't even have to get into my analytical mind or check myself or elevate some type of like, elevate my awareness or whatever. Like I just need to kind of feel into the art and feel into the colors and just feel good, feel soothed by it. Other than just the aesthetics, I obviously love the theme of this deck as well because it's very feminine, sensual. I love roses. Just the idea of roses and the symbolism of roses as like a spiritual path. It just balm to my heart chakra. Balm as in like BALM, not like bomb. Balm to my heart chakra. And I love the messages of the rose, temple of the rose, sub rosa, the thorn, the rose garden. I just love this whole metaphor of gardens because gardens feel very nurturing. It feels very like heart chakra vibes, you know what I mean? And this just kind of puts me in my heart chakra and then just helps me open my heart and just soften into my being and just like enjoy looking at these things. And just, I don't know, like I really, this deck is kind of like beyond language. I just really love feeling into the art, and I just love pink and having pink things, and looking through the decks that I have in my collection that are pink are just like super soothing to me. So I recommend this deck if you're also into pink. And if you're not into pink, I recommend getting like and like aesthetic deck. I recommend like you can, if you're not into pink and if you're looking for like a mental health deck, pick something that has aesthetics that really pleases you, that puts you in a soothing mood, that puts you in a calm mood. It doesn't have to be pink and it doesn't have to be roses. But I guess this would be a great example of like, you want a deck to serve a specific and functional purpose, but sometimes it could just look good and make you feel good. You know, you don't even have to do a reading. You can even just take out a deck where you just really enjoy looking at the art and you get lost in the art and just let those unspoken vibes and feelings guide you into your place of safety. I think that's wonderful. Yeah, and that's why the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell is one of my mental health decks. Okay, so on to the sixth one, or the honorable mention, and the reason why it's an honorable mention and not actually one of the items on this list is because I only started working with this deck not so long ago, so I haven't had a lot of time to spend with it, and I don't have a strong relationship with it yet. Based on the time that I spent with this deck so far, this deck brings me so much joy. First of all the animals are freaking cute. They're just so adorable. They look so serene. They make me feel really serene. They make me feel really calm. They make me feel like I'm peeking into just the soft corners of this foresty land, this forest universe. Look at the spider. I never thought a spider would be cute, but the spider is like stinking adorable. Like this deck feels really attentive to me. They're just like casually, they don't give you like intense attention, but you do feel like, you just feel really attuned to these adorable animals, and whatever moment that they're going through, it's almost like you're there with them and they're there to help you carry yourself out of that zone, like wherever it is that you're stuck in. I find this deck very soothing and very serene, so just I recommend. This is my honorable mention on this list. And yeah, that's it. Those are my selections for decks that help me soothe my nerves and regulate my nervous system and help me unspiral from all my anxieties in life, because I know I'm like a badass bitch, but I'm also like a big softie, and that's fine. I just have to keep rolling through life like a warrior marshmallow and just like slay in my own way. While taking naps and eating ice cream, but also like having my own business and kicking butt and rebelling against societal norms. All of that. Thank you for watching, and I hope you check out my other deck videos and deck selections. Let me know what you think of these decks, or let me know if you have these decks. Let me know if I should maybe film my face next time, because I kind of feel like I'm more vlogging than showing you the cards. I'm just talking about the reasons why I chose them as my mental health decks, but maybe I should put my face on there and show you. I don't know. Alright, peace. Until next time.